What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and you see it. We have the Transformers Studio Series. It doesn't say 86 anymore, but we'll still say it's 86. Transformers the movie, Megatron. Now, okay, let's get a few things out of the way, which we're also going to say for the end of the video. He is a tank. We know that. I'm going to say that for various reasons. First things first, this is the box from Megatron. Very roomy. Not a whole lot of stuff. And I'm going to talk about that too, because I feel like he's not quite like, we'll talk about that. It's going to be a lot. This is going to be a lot. So I want to save that. But I do like the packaging. You know, it's just the overly big box and a lot in it. You can see here, he's, 54 steps to transform. The legs are very gray. Unfortunately, they are not that gray. They are that sort of bluish tint gray. You can store the weapons on the back. Here he is from the side with the Megatron there, and that's it for the box. Let's put the camera back down. We're going to go over some accessories, and then we're going to go look at the tank. They're going to compare him with Bridge Megatron. We're going to compare him with Blitzwing, one of my favorite tanks, and then after that, we're done with tanks. All right, so let us begin. I don't know what type of tank he is. If you do, that's great. I didn't really look that up because, of course, G1 Megatron is really a gun. There are ways to make this look like a pistol. The Skybound thing is an accessory that, excuse me, gives you the ability to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have it right now. So let's look at the tank first. Here are the weapons. Now you do get the beam sword that he picked up. It doesn't split apart. It's a nice quality. I like the way it looks. Interesting that they gave us this, but that's what we got. Then, of course, we get the accessory here that is basically Megatron in the pistol mode. And we're going to show off this right now. This is actually going to be the first comparison because we have the Centurion weapon set. Now, I'm going to tell you, the Centurion weapons so far are a bit above level. Now, the thing I like about the Studio Series version, and we're going to put that on the top here so you can get a better look at it, is that it has that Decepticon symbol right there. So, it gives that, you can make him like he's transforming. But the cool thing about the Centurion pack is, if you want to make this look like a pistol, you can actually take this off and you can actually have the pistol. And, you can put that here and technically make him have him as a G1 pistol, and then there's the little, and the thing is that's so cool is that it matches the barrel, and you got that there, and then of course there's an indentation right here. He just put it, and bam, now you can do like, that is cool. I still think that the Centurion pack has a little bit more of an edge on that, but both of them, with the way they look, are pretty good. So I just wanted to show that off. That's the first comparison. This is Bridge Megatron. Now I don't like transforming this because the tolerances on this are horrible for Takara. This is actually the worst of the Earthrise Megatron releases ever because it looks great. It's a nice looking Megatron because of the paint, and I wish this had this paint, but this is a terrible Megatron to own. So I'm going to tell you this right now before we even go into this. If you thinking you want to get the Bridge Megatron to over this, because whatever you feel, you'll feel stupid. The price of this may come down. The paint job is nice. The tolerance on this is bad. I'm still fixing this daily to keep this thing to stand up. Right there. But now that he's here, tanks right there. So yeah, here's Blitzwing. Now Blitzwing, this is the of dramatic capture sets. So of dramatic capture, this is probably, I don't think we're going to get this level of paint detail if they do the SS86 Blitzwing in US on Hasbro, unless they're going to give us a new mold, which that would be insane, but I don't think they are. This engineering is nice as they're going to try to do another simplify, because it is over-engineered. It is very over-engineered. So, but the damn colors on this are so spot on with the blue, because he always has the portion of the canopy sticking out, and it looks very much SS86. And when you compare the two, like you could see, like maybe alternate universe imagination where he did become a tank. He's got Blitzwing, or coming out and come on, Blitzwing, let's do some damage with our tank modes. Sure, Megatron, whatever. You know, I don't really know how Blitzwing talks, but yeah, you can, because his voice kind of changes this. But yeah, you can see that. You know, I like this. And yeah, similarly, they're, you know, again, because they are both leader class, but he's leader class with more engineering, where he's leader class with the engineering and the height. But his weight, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like he said, I want it more. I'm not saying he needed to turn to the guy. I just want it more something. But still, and I'll explain why. I wanted him to get that. I wanted him to be just as dense as Optimus Prime. And not quite. But yeah, these are my tanks here. And if you ask me, I think I like this tank over this one. I still think this tank is better than all of them, because of the coloration and how he looks and the fact that the barrel and everything goes up. But if you ask me, you know, it's Megatron. This is what he looks like. This is what he's supposed to be. So now that we got everything situated here, we got these 3 tanks here in their tanky modes. After that, we're going to come back in 2 and 2, get him into robot mode, do some bunch of comparisons, do some more talking, and do some more scabba yap. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have Megatron in his robot mode. Now, I want to talk about Megatron in his robot mode. Get my camera adjusted, because we're going to bring him in just a little bit closer here. Give me one moment. My golden ratio here. What's the first thing you notice that's wrong? The shoulders are a little pinched in, and the arms don't quite fit it. And I've already kind of adjusted mine a little more, but when you get them, they're so far in. Now I can't get that look back again because I'm used to it. So what I've been doing to give him a more, you know, square look, and for the rest of the video, this is how he's going to look. You got to kind of, it's kind of hard to do now because you got to finagle with the shoulder parts here. They get in kind of tight. But once you get it out, you can kind of adjust it. You see there's like a indentation right there. That's where I've been using that point to kind of like as a guide. And you can see the difference already with the shoulder now. The arm fits, but it's a little loose and it's not perfect, but it's not going to, you know, offend or anything, because actually it's going to give you range. But it just looks a lot better. It's probably not supposed to be that way because the front of the chest is actually, you know, the rest of the chest is a match. But it just messed me up. You know, it kind of messed my head up when I kept looking at him. Like, I couldn't get over it. Like, I'm looking at Earthrise. I'm like, why does Earthrise look more square than the Studio Series 86? Because we got the gate, that's how his arms are. But if you can get the arms right about there, and you can see it here, even there's that little, like I use that as a guide. It's not something, you know, it's not, I don't know if it's any instructions, because I don't read my instructions, y'all. I kind of just wing it. I've been that way since I've been a kid, man. I do read instructions. It's Transformers, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how to do it. You know, so his shoulders now are more square, and I like this look over the way that he was in the packaging. I don't like the way he looks when you see him in the package. His arm he's the Gladiator. His shoulders look so weird. So now that we got that out the way, and you know, and even in the thumbnails, you'll see my Megatron is going to be that way. The only other thing I'm going to look at is maybe lightly painting this red, because I don't know if this plastic will, you know, not handle red paint. I got my Gundam marker, but this is unacceptable, Hasbro. This should have been all one red piece. That right there is not, that's not cool. And I had to point that out. I really hate that. it you know, it's like, oh, so we're going to stop here, but then you're going to stop right there. And you know, I don't know, you know, like I said before, when you're missing that paint, that, you know, what they're going to do. They're going to do another version. You know, it's going to, paint fix. It's going to be all gray. It's going to be that. Yeah, I hate that. So let's go over everything here. First, let's go over articulation. He has butterfly. You've already seen that now. Arm goes, you know, out to here. He's got the usual. He's got that. He's got the open and closing hands. They're a little cumbersome. Hate dealing with that index finger, but you know, once you get it open, you can. He does have rotating hands. He has the elbow. The arm goes this way. Like I said, you can get good butterfly range motion if you want. Like I said, you know, I'm not pushing these in all the way for the look. I want that more square look. I think that looks a lot better. He does have the, you know, Rock'em Sock'em 360, and I like that because he does do that kind of twist. You know, in the cartoon from the back, he is clean. I forgot to slide that over. Sorry about that. But I mean, slide those around. So yeah, they actually slide around like that. I didn't have it right the first time, so please forgive me. Somebody's gonna say, you right. Here he is from the back. He's clean. No hollowness or anything like that. Just nice, you know. Let's make sure I've got these closed all the way. Yeah, you have to kind of like the legs from the tank mode and everything like that does that. I'm sorry, y'all. Just gotta make sure I'm doing that on screen. So yeah, it's good. Let's turn him around. He's got, it's not so much an ab crunch, but he has, I love the way his chest can kind of open, so you can get kind of like a, you know, like, oh, we could repair Megatron. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, they got the correct chest abdomen. You know, Siege is from one episode of Transformers. I just got to find it. The legs articulated, they go out to here, out to there. Leg goes all the way back to here, all the way up. He's got a nice bend. He can do, yeah, he can do tricks, things. So we're gonna look at his head. Yeah, he can do the Jean-Claude Van Damme. We're saying, I like the Megatron head. I think this is probably one of the best sculpts of the Megatron head we have gotten in quite some time. For Megatron from Hasbro. You know, it's not super perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better than Earthrise. But Siege still, I still like Siege. So let's get that in, and we'll back that up a little bit. And let's do the Jean-Claude Van Damme. Of course he can Van Damme, man. He Megatron, man. You mean he can't Van Damme. That man can fight now. Don't get it twisted because he Megatron like he's some, you know, punk or something like that. Nah, homie can fight, man. He's all stripping. But he's got all the red paint like he should. You know, it's just amazing. Besides the missing red paint there, which I guess I'll fix later. I'm just don't want this plastic to break. We're gonna talk about the fusion cannon. The fusion cannon doesn't move. And yeah, he did have where it's the shorter, you know, but the color of it is that nice brown. It kind of reminds me of the one of like the early Man from Uncle sets. And then of course he does have the because the cannon will fit, you know, it opens up. So that's all it does. But he does have the red dot there and everything. Let's get his accessories. Also, let's get his height. As we know, he is slightly bigger than Optimus Prime. So he is, let's get him into frame here. He is about well over from the head 7.5 inches, right at the 7.5. I mean, right on it. So yeah, he's the right height, and we have him here. Now we have his accessories. Of course, I did show you those earlier in the video. It says we're never going to transform him again. You know, so of course the gun is going to always be, you know, that one. And then of course you get the sword, and basically, you know, of course he's got his fusion cannon, but if you want to give him the sword, the one that he used to, you know, hit Prime with, you can do that. One moment here. Snap that in place, close his fist, and yeah, I mean, it's like a red figure, but it changed. And yeah, he's having. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and here's Megatron with the cassettes. So we just picked Rumble here, and we also picked Laserbeak with him holding Laserbeak as if he's looking at him, holding the fusion cannon. Here's Megatron against one of the Insecticons from Legacy. This is Shrapnel. And as you can see there, that's a good height for them. I like that. Next, here he is next to the bridge version of Shockwave. Oh man, this looks so cool, man. Even though Shockwave's I think should be a little bigger. So who knows? Maybe they'll give us a new Shockwave in SS86. But right now, if you want the most definitive Shockwave, the best one to get is the bridge one, the purple. Oh, it's fantastic. Here he is next to the Dramatic Capture bridge set Soundwave. And of course, we're also going to be getting a new SS86 Soundwave pretty soon. But right now, this is the most definitive Soundwave you can get as far as matching the G1 animation. Right now is the bridge version. All right, here he is next to the other one of the Dramatic Capture sets. This is the Blitzwing from that set. I purchased this as a separate standalone piece from an eBay seller. I personally think this one is better. It cost about the same as one you would get in the store, even with shipping. I think it was a great price. Yeah, and they really do look good together. This is very G1 cartoon here. And next, of course, we have him up against his number one, also his rival and arch nemesis, and eventually he had to take him out when he became Galvatron. Here he is next to Starscream. And I have Starscream holding the pistol accessory because basically, man, if you want that, that's going to be the best thing to do there. And of course, we got the bridge set. I still think the bridge version is better, but okay. Anyway, so Starscream gets the gun because that's what he does until the next Starscream comes out. So yeah, it's mind-boggling when you start looking at this Megatron and other figures next to him, how much better this Megatron is so far. Okay. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and all right, y'all. Let me tell y'all right now, we might be stuck on this little part here for a few minutes, man. This is giving me the feels right now. At one point in my life, I owned G1 Megatron and Optimus Prime when I was a kid. Yes, I did. It's just right now, I am like, wow, man, this is it, man. I mean, if they do come back around again, cool. But this is it. And since because we gotta say that for the end of for the rest of the video. But yeah, we'll bring Optimus Prime back later in the video. Like I said, if there's a part missing, that's because I edited it out. I don't think I need to leave it in there, so it probably will be. And of course, we'll be back too. Oh man, we're back. Yeah. This is, man, like we never thought that this would actually happen. You know, we never thought that we would get this look. And I know it's not, it's not your third party quality. It's this, it's just, but for Hasbro's quality, it's very nice. And just seeing him go to the, that coloration of Galvatron, as it happens in the movie. Oh man, together they look good, but still, this is a very good piece, man. Any version of the Galvatron mold, even the Straxus, Darkmount. Oh man, I actually got to go back and find that toy. I gotta play. I like playing with that. It's one of my favorites too. Hands down, this is perfect. Just to bringing it all together. Whoo, man, getting the feels. We're almost at the end, y'all. One more. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we now have both Megatrons together. Now, of course, if you don't have if there's any version of Earthrise that you have, it's going to come to the definitive version to me, which is the bridge set. The bridge set captures the G1 cartoon to the utmost. When we were saying with that silver, bright silver, that's really one of the standout colors for him because he seems always a lot brighter on the show than this. This gray is a little on the drab side, but it's not that, he's, almost gives me Megaplex vibes because the color of Megaplex, if you paint those blue, you got Megaplex. And that gray is very Megaplexy. So if you know about Megaplexy, it's Blue Feet Megatron. But yeah, the leg coloration is what I honestly think Megatron should have been like. They should have been that color. And they do give you that color almost close to that with this. And if you look here, it's kind of right here. That color coloration, if it was lighter right here, would really give, but then it wouldn't stand out because this tan is too dark. So it's kind of, yeah, there's a reason why they did that. But, before we go to the final thoughts, this video is going to be long. It's G1 Megatron. We got to give it his due. There's some things I'll say to you collectors who like to just say everything new is bad because whatever reason. And I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I agree with you. You're spending the money twice on a figure, 2 times, 3 times. Yeah, it gets annoying. We're doing that now. And that's something we need to also look at because, man, money or not, we're throwing away in May and the budget, our budgets, hey, I can't do that all the time. But I'll say getting this, he's shorter. And unless you're going to stick with Earthrise Prime as your leader, yeah, it's not going to work if you got SS86 Prime. So if you're intending on staying with Earthrise and say, hey, I don't want to upgrade, or get the new SS86 Megatron because I don't this, and this, whatever reason, I would say to at least keep your collection. And it's your collection, you do what you want, but I'm just saying, like, getting this Megatron to go up against that SS86 Prime is kind of, I don't know, it's weird. This doesn't give the feels to me like that. Also, this Megatron has tolerance issues. This is the only reason why this guy is standing is because I tightened up the joints with everything I know to tighten up the joints with. There's Kiki, there's the my Gorilla Glue, and which is not super glue, this is regular glue, and even maybe some floor polish somewhere. And now he's standing. These tolerances on this toy are bad. So be forewarned, he's a beautiful paint job, and he has to paint the scratch. Mine has these scratches on it. It's very well painted while this is molded into the plastic that it's in. So yeah. But other than that, though, the paint job is beautiful. But yeah, there's a lot of kibble. You're going backwards with this. You're not sticking it to Hasbro. You're sticking it to you because you're looking at that as accuracy, and then it's not accurate. And you look at this guy from the back. This is not even his cannon. This is the one that comes with this cannon comes with or a little piece comes with Soundwave. This is Soundwave's part, but you get it, and you put it back there to give him that, kind of like that asymmetrical look, but it's just not that smooth. When you get down to it, this just look better. This just looks the part, But the paint job makes this look good. The paint job is what sets this off, and what probably will be a litmus to this eventually getting a similar paint job to this, and that's what's going to happen. So yeah, that's it for comparisons. We're gonna have to pause for the cause. Then we're gonna get to final thoughts. So, should you buy this Megatron? Absolutely. Just go get the Megatron. Yes, this is the Centurion pack mace weapon. Does fit in his hand pretty good. What can I say? It looks good. The paint job's nice. Get your shoulders widen out a little bit once you get them out the package, and you'll have the perfect G1 Megatron. Robot mode is outstanding. Brownie lost points for the paint not being in full. There's some, paint jobs they can do. There's the gun robo. There's, which is going to be black, brownish kind of one. They can do a damaged one, a reformatted looking one. They can do a Megaplex. They can do the definitive G1 Megatron. And I think those would suffice. The articulation is there. The size is there. He's a lot better looking than Earthrise. Hands down. What else can I say? At the end of the day, you're getting your money's worth. Transforming him into the tank is a little pain in the butt, but the gun accessory saying that what he turns into is great. The accessory store on him, nice and easy. They look a lot better. He doesn't have tank parts hanging off his back. He's the asymmetrical square gladiator from Cybertron, and I'm glad to have him. So that's it. Nothing else to say. Thank you, Hasbro, for making it this way. I think this is a great compromise, having a tank mode with a gun mode. You wouldn't be able to get this on the shelves. You got to understand people. You got to grow. I guess we got to grow up. Just leave G1 lore alone. He was a gun, but honestly, they wouldn't be able to make it, and they wouldn't be able to sell it, and that would just be stupid. And at the end of the day, it would just be dumb. Takara is not going to make this into a gun. They're probably going to do something different, but it's not going to be within the constructs of Age of Prons or Studio Series. They're not. Trust me, they're not. They may do something different, but this is not going to become a gun. He's going to be a tank. Accept it. Move on with life. The robot mode is fantastic. Use your imagination to use that gun piece that's going in someone's hand, and that takes care of everything, and final thoughts are done. I like this figure. This is one of the best Megatrons we've gotten in a long time. I'm okay with the tank mode. I've made my peace with it. I'm not going to argue with it anymore because that's just too stressful. I got to move on with life. I'm not going to transform this thing ever again unless it's for comparison with another coloration of this toy. We are out of here because in one more video I got to do, and I got to let this camera charge up. But this is Super Robot Ed. More news reveals, so then we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.